Why are you thinking that Hindi is national language? Why other people in India are opposing it? So let's look at these words on your screen, which says Hindi Hamara Rashtra Bhasha hai. Hindi Hamara Rashtra Bhasha is also in Hindi. If you have read this in your textbook in school, and that is exactly why you're believing that Hindi is a national language, I would compare that to an elephant. Elephant, when it's a baby elephant, is tied to a rope, and baby, the elephant cannot come out of it, and it is conditioned. The moment it grows up, it's still conditioned. It cannot break the rope. So what is really happening here is you have been conditioned. So the textbooks were wrong. There are 22 national languages in India. Have you heard about Maithili? Have you heard about Dogri? Have you heard about Bodo? Like there is a lot of languages we are forgetting to speak. We are not recognizing it's there in India. So let's also look into this. Two maps. One map says where Hindi is spoken as the first language, and it also shows where what other second language is spoken in India. If I'm going to count the number of states which speaks Hindi as a first language, there's only 9 states. If I add in Hindi is spoken as the second language, I add in one, two, three, four. That's about 13 states. So of of all the states in India, only 9 states speak Hindi as a first language, and only 13 states, I mean 4 states includes, speak Hindi as either the first language or the second language. So what happened to the rest states? Are they not part of India? So what is happening here? So if I have to really look into this, this is what I am seeing is these are all different kingdoms. They were all brought in together to form one country as India. So that's unity in diversity. So diversity, unity in diversity, and that's what makes us special. So I am showing you the number of languages, which is the most spoken languages in India, uh, by the first, second, and the third language speakers, including English. So I am also comparing this with the most spoken languages across the world. So you can see some of the Indian languages are coming in the top 20 spoken languages in the world. That includes Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, and also Tamil. So these languages, including Punjabi. So in these languages, all Indian languages, they are the top 20 spoken languages in India. So if you in the world, so if we are not speaking these languages will go extinct. So I want to bring you into the concept of Bollywood. What is happening in Bollywood? If you see this, this is one news article which I'm seeing that Samira Reddy says that she doesn't fit into Bollywood because she was found to be too dark and her face is not too broad. So that means the chance for Samira Reddy to be acting in Bollywood is really less because she's not fitting the frame of Katrina Kaif, who is fitting that particular frame of being beautiful in Bollywood. So let's look into what are the woods in India. So these are the number of woods in India. So there is like Bollywood, Tollywood. There is two different kinds of Tollywood. There's a Bengali Tollywood and a Telugu Tollywood. Sandalwood, Collywood, Ollywood, Chollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, Chuckwood, and Coastal Wood. I bet you are hearing some of these words for the first time. So if you are going to see the number of movies that's been made in India that's not from Bollywood, so there is 336 movies made in Canada, 281 in Telugu cinema, 254 in Tamil. There is 2 in Pinar. I do not know what is it. 2 in Mishing. I had no idea what is it. Lambadi makes 2, Awadhi is 3, Kashi is 7, Tulu is 9. So these are all languages, and these brings a total number of 1986, which crosses the Hollywood's number of movies that is made in the world. So we know Bollywood. We do not know a lot of movies that is not made in Bollywood. So some of these movies I want to highlight. So one is the Assamese cinema, that is Mission China. It's one of the highest grossing film in the Assamese cinema. And then there is a Bengal movie called Pattar Panchali. It won the best foreign language film in National Board of Review in USA. That is like the crossing bridges. It's a first Shadkupen film, and you see the Cannes Film Festival 1984, My America, which won 1984, which won a lot of awards. Um, and this is not a Bollywood film. I also wanted to make sure I bring the Manipuri film, which won the Best Director Award and Eurasian Award, and also Levdu. So if you want to look at Levdu, Levdu is Kasi cinema. So you must be wondering, where is Kasi cinema? It's part of Meghalaya. So it was premiered in a Busan Film Festival. So Levdu is the biggest market in Meghalaya. So probably you should see this film. So let's look into this concept, like what happens if you are going to learn a new language every time you speak a different language. So this point I wanted to speak to people who are having Hindi as a first language, but they not familiar with the second or a third language. So so that is if you want people from other states to learn Hindi, but what other languages in India that you are learning? This is a question that you need to ask yourself. So a study performed in 2004 found that people who spoke more than two languages have higher cognitive thinking abilities. And I also wanted to highlight about you will appreciate cultures more, and there is more opportunities for jobs, and you will also connect with more people. And that is what knowing more languages brings in. So if you are from a different part of India where Hindi is not your first language, do learn Hindi. If you are from a Hindi dominated place, do learn another language along with English, because English is going to give you jobs and Hindi is your first language. And by learning a third language, you are becoming proficient. And every time you think in a different language, your cognitive abilities are different, and your personality is different. So if you still haven't understood how, what, whether does the majority of India speaks in Hindi, I would compare this with the map where we eat wheat versus rice. So you can see the the commonalities between states which speak Hindi as a first language to commonalities where in the states where people eating wheat. So the national preference is rice. So we need to be okay with eating rice.